Do you think you're smart? Well, prove it. Scan the QR code on screen and join the quiz instantly. You can play by yourself or create a room and challenge your friends. Earn power-ups and multipliers. Or bring chaos to your opponents. The smartest brain wins. Scan now and start playing.
Welcome to the sports category. Get ready for questions about legendary athletes, famous matches, and major sporting moments.
This is a challenging level quiz, perfect for teens 15 and up. Are you ready to start? Here we go. Sort these host countries by first time hosting, earliest to latest. Where is Wembley Stadium, where the 1966 final took place? Which of these World Cups were hosted in South America? Which finals ended in penalty shootouts? How many teams participated in the 1930 World Cup? Sort these Golden Boot winners by goals scored, lowest to highest. In what year did Diego Maradona score the Hand of God goal? How many goals were scored in the 2014 World Cup final? How many World Cups had Pele won by the end of his career? Where is Lusail Stadium, host of the 2022 World Cup final? Who won the Golden Boot at the 2022 World Cup? Sort these World Cup winners by number of titles, fewest to most. Sort these players by total World Cup goals, lowest to highest. Which country hosted the 2002 World Cup? Which country has won the most World Cups? Which players have won the World Cup Golden Boot? Which players have appeared in 5 different World Cups? Who scored the winning goal in the 2014 World Cup final? Where is Estadio Azteca, where the 1970 and 1986 finals were played? Which country hosted the 1970 World Cup? Who won the Golden Ball at the 2014 World Cup? Which team lost the 2006 World Cup final? Which players scored in a World Cup final? Which countries have hosted the World Cup exactly once? Which country won the 2022 World Cup? Time to check your score. How are you doing? Let's continue the quiz. Which country hosted the 2018 FIFA World Cup? How many total World Cup titles has Italy won? How many goals did Just Fontaine score in the 1958 World Cup? In what year did Germany win their fourth World Cup? Sort these World Cup finals by year, earliest to latest. Hold on tight, because it's speed round time. The next 5 questions are coming in fast. Think quick, trust your gut, and let's go. Which player has the most World Cup goals ever? Which country hosted the 1934 World Cup? Who won the Golden Ball in 2006? Which team did Brazil beat in the 1970 final? Which country hosted the 1966 World Cup? Who scored in both the 1958 and 1970 World Cup finals? Which country finished third in the 2018 World Cup? Which player won Golden Boot in 2010? Which country hosted the 1978 World Cup? Who scored the fastest goal in World Cup history? And that's a wrap on the speed round. Tally up those points because every single one counts. We're heading back to regular play, so stay sharp. Sort these World Cups by number of teams, fewest to most. In what year was the first World Cup held in Asia? Who was the top scorer of the 1958 World Cup? Where is Soccer City Stadium, FNB Stadium, for the 2010 final? Where is the Olympiastadion, venue of the 2006 final? Where is the Luzhniki Stadium, host of the 2018 final? Sort these countries by their first World Cup win, earliest to latest. Which countries have won the FIFA World Cup more than once? Who scored the infamous Hand of God goal? Where Where is Stade, France, where the 1998 World Cup final was held? Time to check your score. How are you doing? Let's continue the quiz. Which nations have reached the World Cup final but never won it? Which country defeated Germany in the 2018 World Cup group stage? Which nation won the first ever World Cup in 1930? Who scored the winning goal in the 2010 World Cup final? Who was the captain of Italy in the 2006 World Cup final? Where is a Stadio Monumental, venue of the 1978 final? Which team won the 1998 World Cup? In what year did Brazil win their 5th World Cup? Which of these players were part of Spain's 2010 World Cup winning squad? Sort these finals by total goals scored, lowest to highest. Sort these World Cup hosts by continent, alphabetical order of continent. Which country hosted the 1986 World Cup? Where is the Marathon Stadium where the 1950 and 2014 finals were held? Who scored a hat-trick in the 1966 World Cup final? Which country reached the final in 2010 but lost? Sort these World Cup tournaments from earliest to latest. Which World Cups were won by host nations? In what year was the first FIFA World Cup held? Where is San Siro Stadium used in the 1990 World Cup? Which country hosted the 1994 World Cup? And that's the final question. How many did you get right? Check your results in the app and see your final score. Let us know in the comments how you did. Challenge your friends. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more quizzes.